This is a video on passive homes and what they are and what they're composed of. And we're using this project we are in the middle of in Somerville, Massachusetts as an example of that. So that's what the home will look like. You'll see we're not there yet, but there are 5 main principles of a passive house. And just to back up and go over the evolution of buildings, you have buildings heated by fire, the mechanical means, and now passive homes get their name from the fact that they are heated passively and are able to be heated passively. And there's 5 main ways in which that is achieved. And we're going to show you that with the use of this project. This is what the project will look like. This is where it's at now. And we're going to start with insulation. So typically, you have insulation of walls. This is a wall section. This shows that we have insulation in the wall. On the inside, we have an additional wall. And on the outside, we also have insulation. So this is insulation that's about to go on the exterior of the home, on all the walls. It's called Gutex. And the siding will then go over that. This is insulation that is going to be going on the roof. And you can see there, those window pockets will be matched up. This is a mock-up where we have installed the insulation just as a trial. And you can see here on the inside, there'll be an additional wall, an additional layer of insulation, as well as where there's insulation typically within the walls. And the windows on passive homes are very efficient. They're triple glazed, and the American windows have lagged behind European windows. So this technology, passive homes, came from Europe. We were using Logic Windows, which is a USA main manufacturer. And so we are catching up in the USA to this technology. These principles of passive home can be applied to, all projects. This will be a certified passive home, but the factors, these 5 principles, can be applied to all projects. And they make homes more comfortable, more energy efficient, healthier. Those are really the reasons to engage and do this. So another factor is air tightness, as well as the insulation. There needs to be proper sealing so that the home is extremely airtight. It's not breathing as homes used to, but it's really being controlled mechanically. This is the depth of the wall. Typical walls are half that size, if not almost a third of that size. And so that is a huge difference in passive homes. And so here's a really important factor is passive homes are, the air is brought in and out. These are some renderings of what the home will be. It's a Tetris wall. And instead of air just blowing around the home, we use an ERV system, which stands for Energy Recovery Ventilator. And what that does is it brings air in and it replaces the stale air with fresh air. And while it brings it in, it is conditioning it. So in the winter, when you have the air inside is warmer and that you're bringing cold air in, but it actually crosses the warm air leaving. And so it is tempered by that and conditioned by that before it is brought in. And so the last factor for a passive home is solar orientation. This is a remodel. So the home, we couldn't particularly change the orientation, but what we could do is decide where windows are going and be very exact on that. So that was the north side. You saw smaller windows there as a result. Whereas on more southern facing, where we have the opportunity to bring in a lot more sunlight, we did so. And you can see that here. We're extremely excited about this home. Another component, kind of like in addition to solar orientation, is we are putting solar panels on this home, and that will allow this home to be a net zero home. Now, net zero is different than passive homes. Really what passive homes do is set up and make it a lot simpler and easier to achieve net zero, where you have whatever energy is being created by the home is being compensated by energy that is produced, like with these solar panels. So the principles of a passive home, if they are in play, a home will be much more energy efficient. It'll be easier, a lot easier to have it be net zero. Net zero is just related to greenhouse gases, specifically carbon, and the creation, evens out. Whatever's being used is being produced actually by the house. So that is an overview of passive homes. They're going to be much more healthier, the indoor air quality, because of the exchange of clean air with stale air. You can have the best filters in the world in your HVAC system, but if you're just recirculating stale air, it's not going to be as healthy as bringing in fresh air. And so they're also going to be a lot more comfortable. So those are the 5 principles of a passive home, and hope you learned something.